Hi guys, my name is Nirmal Singh. In today's video, I will be demonstrating implementing VPN solutions. A virtual private network, or VPN, extends a private network across a public network such as the internet. It enables users to send and receive data across shared or public networks as if their computing devices were directly connected to the private network, and thus are benefiting from the functionality, security, and management policies of the private network. A VPN is created by establishing a virtual point-to-point connection through the use of dedicated connections, virtual tunneling protocols, or traffic encryptions. To begin, we must first configure the VPN rules by adding a new rule. Let's begin. We are selecting Network Policy and Access Services. Alright, the Network Policy and Access Services provides Network Policy Services or NPS, routing and remote access, health registration authority, and host credential authorization protocol, which helps safeguard the health and security of the network. I then click next. Click next. I am selecting Network Policy Server, and I'm also selecting Routing and Remote Access Services. Routing and Remote Access Services provides remote users access to resources on the private network over Virtual Private Network or VPN, and Network Policy Server allows you to create and enforce organization-wide network access policies for client-held connections and request authentication. I then click Next, and here is stating that the server might be restarted after the installation is completed. I will then click Install to install our new rule. Okay, so the wizard was successfully installed, so I will now close this wizard. Alright, and we will come out of server manager, and we will now go into administrative tools, and we are about to start to configure our VPN. So first we need to open routing and remote access and do some adjustments inside that snapping. Alright, so it's a two-phase. At the moment the server is offline, so I right click on the server and I'm about to configure and enable the routing and remote access. Okay, so I will click next, and for the sake of this tutorial we are going to have a custom configuration. Alright, the custom configuration is due to the fact that there's only one NIC on my present PC. Alright, so I will click next and I will select VPN access because at the end of the day the video is on VPN. Alright, we now click next and we click finish. Alright, and here we got a prompt: routing and remote access has created a default connection. We will click OK so that we can proceed, and we will then start the service and we wait for the service to be started. Alright, so we will take a short break while the service is started. Okay, and we are back. Okay, so the service was started. If you notice the left hand pane here, before it was offline, now it is online. We then need to configure our ports, so we double click on the port. Alright, and here we have all the different ports, but we want to do some adjustments of selected ports. So we right click on the port and we click on properties, and the two ports that we are going to make adjustments on is the WAN mini port L2TP and the SSTP port. So we select it and then click configure, and the maximum port we are going to adjust it to port to 25, then click OK, and the mini port we are also going to configure it to 25, click OK, Alright, we apply and then click OK. So we will minimize this for now because later on in the tutorial we need to come back to this page, and then we are now going to customize the second part of our VPN when this is a network policy server. Alright, so we wait a couple seconds for the snapping to open, and then we will configure our VPN policies, which will allow us to allow users to connect via the VPN network. Alright, so there we go. So it is open. So now we click select policies on the left hand pane. Alright, and we go down to network policies and then we select configure network policies. At the moment these two are offline, but what we want to do is to add a new connection or new tunnel connection. So we right click on network policies and we click on new. Alright, and we give the policy a name that is fruitful, right? So let's name our policy VPN pass through test. Alright, and the type of network access server, we are going to call this remote access server, open brackets, VPN dash dial-up, close brackets. Alright, we then click next, and here we are going to add a condition. Alright, and the condition that we are looking for is hold 1 second. There we go. Tunnel type. You click add. Alright, and we are going to enable layer 2 tunneling protocol and point to point tunneling protocol. Click OK. Click next. So here we are want access because of course as a result of VPN we need to get access. So click next. Alright, so for the sake of this tutorial we are going to disable the user can change password, and the user can change password for this tutorial. Click next, and then we are going to do some day and time restrictions. This means that basically days and times that users can use the VPN. So we are going to take out Sunday from the use of our VPN because we don't want anyone to access our network on Sundays, and we also will only give our users access from until 4 p.m. on Saturday, and also we don't want anyone to use our network between the hours of 12 midnight to 5 in the morning. So from 6 o'clock they probably can use the VPN. Alright, so I mean you guys can always play along with it. I mean it's kind of cool, it's like a kind of mind sweep game, you know, from long time. Anyways, let's click OK. Alright, and we'll click next, and we will click next again. Oh, sorry, before I go we need to do an amendment to the encryption, because at the end of the day you want our VPN connection to be as safe as possible. So we deselect no encryption, we deselect strong encryption and basic encryption, and leave the strongest type of encryption. Alright, we click. Alright, so we click next and we click finish. Alright, so there we have it, VPN pass-through test. Alright, and it is enabled. Okay guys, we are about to test our VPN. Alright, what we need to do is to go into network and sharing center, set up a new connection on network. Alright, set up, we're gonna connect to our workplace, which is dial up or VPN connection. Click next. Alright, use my internet connection. I'll set up an internet connection later. The internet address will be our server address 192.168.0.1, and we're going to click next, and the username is sing, which is my domain name, and the password will be the password on my server at the moment. Alright, let's see if this works. Alright, so let's say that the connection is ready to use. Click close. Alright, so we go to adapter settings now, and we realize that the VPN connection is disconnected. So what you need to do is right click and click connect. It will prompt you for a password. You put in the password that we configured a little bit ago. Let's do that one more time. Alright, so you're going to save the name and password for the following users, and we're going to connect. So we are awaiting for the VPN to connect. Alright, so once it is connected, then we will go back to the window that we left open to show you guys that it is indeed connected to the server. Alright, so if you please permit, just give us a couple seconds whilst we wait on our VPN to connect. Alright, we'll take a short pause. Okay guys, I'm back. Okay, so I changed the username to administrator from Sing, alright, so please bear with me and please allow me for that mistake. Alright, but anyways, the mistake was corrected, and I'm about to connect my VPN connection. So to do that, we right click and click connect. I plug in the password. Alright, so if you see the username is administrator and the password is my password for my server, and there we go, my VPN connection is connected. Alright, so we now go back to the server. Alright, suppose. Okay, so we needed to refresh it. So if you see, we see that the one mini port PPTP and the VPN is currently active. Alright, so there we have it, guys. Our Windows 7 client was able to successfully connect to server 2008 using a VPN connection. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope that the video was educational. Thank you very much.